What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Stranger Things Has Happened. I am Don Della Snooch, as in I've been gone for a while. And here is my lovely co-host, LG. What's going on, Kelly?
Not too much. How are you?
I'm doing better now. These are beginning to be better days. So
Yes, absolutely. I missed you. And I missed this.
I know, right? I don't know how long it's been. It's got to be at least 6 weeks.
At least. And just so that everybody knows, we did not watch this episode until today. We did not skip ahead and start watching season 2.
Right.
We kept to the rule. We kept to our
Yep.
rule.
Hey, what's going on, Hector? Yeah. So I mean, long story short, I don't know how much of this audience doesn't overlap with our
Mhm,
other audience, but I went through a divorce, bought a
mhm,
new house, made a
mhm,
new studio, kind of
mhm.
most of a new studio, and now we're getting back into the game.
Yeah, absolutely. What's up, Loco Logic? Hey, friend.
Ooh. Are you ready to dive into this? I mean,
Let's do it.
this is the
Oh,
first one of these we've done
God.
live, so
Yes. Oh, my gosh. We started off with Joyce being questioned by Dr. Brenner.
yeah,
And after much, well, some interrogation, Joyce just looks at him and says, "You can go to hell. I ain't telling you shit."
right,
I was
right.
like, "Yeah, you go, Joyce."
I'm totally kind of surprised at the like legit police presence that these guys have for just being employees of the people that run this facility.
Right?
I mean,
Holy
they're doing the
moly.
whole cop thing for real.
Oh my gosh, she's handcuffed. There's the what do you call it? The double window mirror, blah.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
one-way mirror.
Thank you. It's after 8 p.m. Eastern, and sometimes brains don't always work, but
Yeah, I'm at the end of my day too, so
mhm. And then after Joyce tells him to go to hell, we skip over to Hopper. And Hopper's in the room with some guy and that blondie chick. Like, ugh, I can't stand that blonde chick.
yeah, she's
And
a bit rough.
yeah, they're asking him shit. And instead of like just, Joyce is handcuffed to a chair, they're tasing the crap out of him.
Right. Right. At one point they tase
Damn.
him so long he throws up.
He throws up. And they're like, and they're taking out the pills. You're just a junkie who OD'd one day. And it's like, dude, they're plotting his murder.
Right.
Like,
Right in front of
huh,
him. This is how they're gonna find you.
totally. DB, you're absolutely right. But if I would have watched it 6 years ago, we would not be doing this show today.
It's true.
It's true. Everything happens for a reason, DB.
Mhm.
Hmm. So he says, I'll talk, but I have stipulations.
Right?
And then they cut over to the boys and
The
Elle.
kids are exhausted.
They're absolutely exhausted. Still in the gym.
Mhm.
Um, Mike's like, where's Nancy and Jonathan? And Elle's just like, Demogorgon. Because, like, she's exhausted after
Right.
doing the whole pool thing.
She doesn't
So,
exactly talk in complete sentences at this point anyway.
right. She can't. She can't possibly. And then we look at Nancy and Jonathan. Nancy and Jonathan get to Jonathan's home, and all of a sudden you see them plugging in the light bulbs again to the
Mhm.
Christmas lights. They're like putting nails in a baseball bat. They're setting up
Like you
that bear
do.
trap in the hallway. They're whizzing gasoline and getting Zippos out. Like they're about to go to war.
Right. Right. Is
Yeah.
this is right when they decide that they're gonna cut their hands open too? Why
Yes.
is it
Yeah.
that everybody always wants to cut the palm of their hand open
I have
in
no
in
idea.
TVs?
No
There's
idea.
so many other places on the body that you could cut yourself and make yourself bleed without, like,
Hurting your
completely
hand.
handicapping handicap.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Yeah. Just completely destroy your ability to hold anything in that hand. And
Yeah.
then right after that, Jonathan intends on swinging a baseball bat.
Yeah. With this hand,
But
but
it is kind of an 80s trope, like, "Oh, we're gonna have to cut
Mhm.
ourselves. Let's slit the palm of our hand open."
Well, that's what we kinda did in the '80s when we became, like, blood brothers with our besties.
Mhm.
You'd cut your hand. So,
Yeah, we didn't do that.
yeah, yeah, I did. Not bad, not bad, but, we slit our thumbs.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think at some point we made some kind of blood pact, but I don't believe we cut the palms of our hands.
Yeah.
I did
Oops.
I did accidentally do that though at one point. I
Mhm,
can't remember what I was doing, working on a lawnmower or something maybe, and I like had the blade
mhm.
and I slipped my hand down the blade and I cut myself pretty good. I remember having my hand bandaged up for a while.
I know DB has, like, this massive scar that goes right along the meaty part of
Mhm.
his thumb. I don't remember how he did it. It was before me. It was before me, but he's got, like, a massive scar on his hand.
Jeez.
But anyway, then we pan back to Hopper, and Hopper's with Brenner now. And Hopper's like, "If you give me your word, I'll talk and tell you where the girl is." And I'm like, "What?" And then Joyce is trying to, he tells Joyce I made an agreement because they unhandcuffed Joyce. The suits, you see the suits all
Mhm.
leaving and piling into their cars, and like then Hopper has a flashback.
Yeah, we get to see is this the first time we see his daughter actually see his daughter?
Yes, we've never seen his daughter before. Like, once they went through into the Upside Down, they went through the gate,
Mhm.
into the Upside Down, Joyce starts hyperventilating, and he's telling her, "In and out, and in and out," and, he flashes back to when his daughter started hyperventilating, and he was telling her the same thing, so yeah, that's the first time we ever saw his kid.
Right.
We knew he had one, but
Mhm.
that's all we
Do you
knew.
do you happen to remember the little girl's name?
I wanna say Sarah, but I'm not positive
Maybe.
because it's been a couple months since we
Mhm.
watched this last, so
Yeah, we were
if
so much
anybody in
better at
the
this
chat can
before,
help us out,
right?
yeah, I
Um,
if you remember Hopper's daughter's name,
but she
it'd be
kinda,
Sarah?
like, freezes up at some point, like she's almost
Yeah,
seeing something.
yeah, it was, like, weird, and I was wondering, like, DB says it's Sarah, um
Sarah.
Yeah, I didn't know if she was sick or if she was having an asthma attack, but that was the first glimpse that we saw of her. And then it flashed back, he came back to present day life again.
Okay, so let me ask you something, because in this scene,
Yeah.
there's part of me that wonders, does she have brain cancer and it does something and allows her to see into the upside down?
You thought that?
I did. So
Oh,
because she looks terrified and she's looking at stuff.
right. I did not put two and two together with that one. But yeah, it looked like she was seeing stuff and that
Mhm.
she was terrified.
So maybe as backstory evolves, we find out that she's actually Hopper's first experience with the upside down.
Oh, that would
Mm,
be interesting.
we'll see.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see more. So we flash over to the boys real quick, and Mike wants to go and look for his sister, and the boys are like, "No, stick to the plan. Instead of looking
Right.
for Nancy, we'll go look for pudding." So
Mhm.
that's
Everybody
what
likes
that was.
pudding.
Everybody loves pudding.
I don't know. I met somebody not too long ago that said they didn't like pudding, and I was real confused.
How could you not like
I
pudding?
don't know. I don't even remember who it was. I just remember, and I should like if If somebody tells you they don't like pudding, maybe it's a sign.
That's true.
Mhm.
I mean, do you remember, like, Carl on The Walking Dead and that giant tub of pudding that he
Oh, yeah,
found?
the giant thing of
He
chocolate
sat on the
pudding.
roof and just ate his pudding.
Uh-huh. That's what
Everybody
I'd
loves
have done.
pudding.
Fuck
That's what
these
I would have done
zombies, I
too.
got chocolate pudding.
Hell yeah. Chocolate pudding in the apocalypse. I mean,
Right?
it's gourmet shit.
Mhm, mhm,
Anyway, so Nancy and Jonathan, we flash back over to them.
mhm.
And they're all ready. They are all ready. They have their Demogorgon traps set up. They're bandaged their hands back up again, and there's a knock, like a frantic knock on the door, saying, "Jonathan, let me in. We gotta talk." And
It's
who the
fucking
hell is
Steve.
it? It's fucking Steve. It's fucking Steve, and I'm like, no
Mhm. And his
way.
face is still all busted up, which made me go, "Oh, we're, like, right on
Yes.
the heels." I keep forgetting that this show is happening over
Yeah.
days.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was like later that day,
Mhm.
later
Yep.
that day. I guess he didn't clean his face up while he was fixing the
Sign or
marquee
whatever.
on the,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. But Nancy's like, "You have to leave," and he, like, because he didn't know Nancy was there. He was just coming to talk to Jonathan and say, "Do you know where Nancy is? And we have to talk." And like freaking, oh my gosh, she's trying to apologize, and Nancy's like, "Leave," and Jonathan's like, "You have to go." And then Steve's starting to get mad again, and Nancy points a gun at him,
Right. I was
and
like, "That escalated quickly."
yeah, and she's like, "Go now." But then the lights started blinking, and Jonathan
Mhm.
was like, "Nancy, the lights." And it was like, "Oh shit. Oh
Mhm.
shit." And the Demogorgon jumps out of the ceiling. Like, "Oh
Yeah, like, what
shit."
the fuck? So this is the first clear shot of a Demogorgon that we get.
Yes! With the closed up face, and then it was like,
Mhm.
"Bleh," and
Right?
and Steve's, like, freaking out hardcore, like, "What the fuck
'Cause you
is that?"
would. You would.
Yes. Nancy's like, Jonathan's taking Steve by the hand and bringing him down the hall to try to lead the Demigorgon into the bear trap. And they
Right?
get into Will's room and it just stops.
It just bails.
Everything just stops.
So they come out of the room.
um, well, we flash back over to Joyce and Hopper, who make it to Will's clubhouse in the Upside Down, but
Right?
Will's not there anymore.
Castle buyers.
Castle buyers. And th- Hopper starts looking at Will's crusty, sad looking stuffed animal lion there.
Mhm.
And he flashes back again. And then in this flashback, we see his daughter completely bald, hooked up to all the machines in the
Right.
hospital. And that's when it was like, oh, she died of cancer.
Yeah.
He was reading her a story about a cat or a lion or something like that.
Yeah. And then
So
the next scene is
that
him
was, like,
crying in the
sad.
stairwell.
Yeah, crying in the stairwell because he had it all together while he was reading her the book, and then he probably said, "I'll be back in a few minutes, honey," and just went into the stairwell and lost it, and
Mhm.
that was just like, oh, that crushed me.
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
That crushed me hard.
Um, then we go
I
back to
wanna
the
ask
kid.
you a question first.
Sure.
Just before they got to the clubhouse, when him and Joyce were walking through the woods, there was like a weird, it looked like an eggshell?
Okay.
Pod shell? Do you think like
I
demigorgons
didn't
lay
see it.
eggs?
Well,
Ah, it was
I
like
don't know.
yellow.
The end of this episode that I don't wanna blow it before we get there,
Yeah.
but it implies that no, they don't.
Yeah. So like I don't know what that thing was. And I didn't want to look it up because I didn't want to spoil anything because, you know, we're like 3 seasons behind, so I don't want to spoil anything. But if somebody could explain that to me, like, was it an eggshell or a pod shell or something that I saw, or was it just icky stuff? So where were we after that?
We go back to the
Oh,
house with the kids.
we go back to the house with the kids, and the
Steve's, like,
lights start
running
again.
outside,
Mhm.
and then the lights start flashing again, and
And
then
they said they said they catch him in the freaking they caught him.
yeah,
Caught the Demigorgon in the bear trap, and they lit that fucker on fire.
for sure,
Holy shit.
right. But not before, what's her name?
Nancy?
Nancy fucking unloads,
Oh, yeah.
isn't
The
that a
gun.
revolver?
Yes.
How the fuck did
Yes.
she shoot 9 bullets out of a
Oh,
revolver?
that's right. Steve left the house.
Yeah,
And then he saw the lights flashing, and then it was just Nancy and Jonathan inside.
right.
The Demigorgon falls on Jonathan, and he's just getting like Demigorgon drool in his face. Nancy unloaded the revolver, didn't do a freaking thing to him. And
But she
then,
shot the first time he showed up, she shot him 3 times.
yes,
And then in
she
this
just
scene, she
unloaded it.
fired off 9 rounds,
Yeah,
and I'm
maybe
pretty
she
sure
reloaded
it's
it.
a 6-shot revolver.
But they showed a 6-shot revolver. Hey, I didn't even. Yeah.
It's
Oh, well, small things.
so I don't think it was a mistake.
Mhm.
I keep picking up on these things that are 80s tropes
Yeah.
from films,
Yeah?
and, I think they're intentional. I think I
Really?
yeah. Even down to in the closing sequence, when the
Mhm.
Stranger Things logo pops up,
Yeah?
there's the little white crackling, uh, things that used to be
Yeah.
on film back in the day that we don't see because everything's digital now.
Mhm.
So I honestly, I feel like they put these
Like Easter
little
eggs?
yeah, things in there that
Wow.
we're supposed to notice, but they're not supposed to be, like, super glaring. Like
That's a
subtle
super cool
nods.
pickup. Yeah, I didn't even pick that up.
But she definitely fired more shots than were in that gun, which I
Right,
thought was
right.
cool.
So, like, we're thinking like, "Oh, no, she's out of bullets. The Demogorgon's ready to, lick Jonathan's face off, and then in comes Steve with the bat with the nails all over it, and
Mhm.
he starts busting up that Demogorgon. Then he gets trapped. Then they light it on fire. I'm like,
Did you catch the part where, Steve swings or, like, flips the bat around in his hand like he's getting cocky and then goes to take another swing, and you're like, "Ah, jeez."
yes.
It's an '80s movie.
It is an 80s movie, and I honestly hardcore cheered for Steve.
Oh,
I'm
yeah, it
like,
was super cool.
"Hell yeah, Steve. Now I like you."
I've been
That
I've
was
been
cool.
struggling with not liking him because I expected him to be an asshole, but then the more it goes on, I'm like, "Oh, no, they're gonna redeem."
You kept telling me that, and I'm like, "No, he's an asshole." But then he wanted to clean up the marquee and the
Mhm.
graffiti, and so
Yeah, he
and he
seems to be a
told off
pretty
his
good dude.
friend. Yeah.
Yep. His
So
friends were assholes.
his friends were assholes, but he was hanging out with them, and he was an asshole too.
Right,
Yeah. But that was super cool. But then when they extinguished the whole fire, no Demigorgon.
right.
Except
So
for
then
the Demogorgon's foot was still in the trap.
no, it wasn't. Just some goo.
That
I
was
had to
just
watch
goo? I thought that was a
I had
foot.
to watch it a second time. If you look underneath, there's
Yeah.
nothing there. It's just some goo on the blade of the trap.
I'm glad you went back and looked because I did not. I just thought that was a foot. It's a monster foot.
So then we joined up with Joyce and Hop in the Upside Down, arriving at the buyer's house.
That was cool.
And Joyce was like, "Is this my house?"
Yeah. And you see the lights playfully lighting up, just like Will, except it was a little slower. Hi, Shanti. And it was like, aw.
Right.
And Jonathan totally picked up on it and said, Mom. And then Mom heard. She's like, Jonathan. Then Hopper's like, come on, we gotta get out of here.
Right. It's super weird that Hop didn't seem to notice the voice carrying across. It makes me wonder if there has to be a more intense connection.
Moms know, dude.
Right.
I'll get into the whole mom thing at the end of the episode because you know how I've been picking up on the mom things.
Oh yeah, I know. So the kids find the pudding.
Pudding.
They're super geeked about the fucking pudding, and Mike starts talking to Elle about a dance that's coming up, and he steals a kiss from her.
Yeah. I was
that was super wild.
Oh, that was so cute. The snowball, and then what did I write here? Oh, and just as the kiss happens, those fuckers, the Hawkins guys, like freaking raid the school, and I'm like, no.
We got to figure out what the name of the facility is so we can start referring to them as whatever that is. I can never remember the name of it.
Yeah, I call them the Hawkins lab people because what else are you supposed to call them?
Yeah,
we don't know.
I think there's a name for it. I just don't remember what the fuck it was called.
Yeah. So the asshole agents start chasing the boys around, and they're surrounded, you know, and they're like, "What are we gonna do now?" And they pick up the boys and freaking Elle. And I kind of love this part because it was that blonde bitch again in the hallway.
Well, she won't be bothering us anymore.
And their eyes just started to bleed, like her and a couple other agents. They just started to bleed, and then it was like blah, and like, you know, like you didn't see eyes explode, but you know those eyes exploded.
Right.
It was like, oh. They scoop up Elle, and then it's Papa. And Papa's there. This is the right part, right?
Yeah. Papa's like, "Oh, I'm gonna take care of you," and blah blah blah. And she's like, "No, you're the bad people."
Yeah, bad. She's like, Mike. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then the lights start flickering, and the boys pick up on it. None of these agents who have been studying this thing for God knows how long.
Well, I don't think the agents have. I think Papa knows.
Papa should have known.
But I don't think those agents have direct contact with the, you know what I mean? Because they're probably just security agents.
What busts out of the wall of the school? What
fucking
a fucking Demogorgon.
It took me till
different Demogorgon. You were right. Because remember, we were trying to figure out if there was one Demogorgon or many. Yeah, you were right. There are many Demogorgons.
I'm thinking that, I picked up on the second time why that Demogorgon showed up, because there was puddles of blood everywhere.
Blood everywhere. Everywhere. Hello,
what's going on, Lee?
Leah does stuff.
I think it's just Lee.
Leah does stuff. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. That's the idea. If you're gonna be a Leah, you should do stuff.
Hell yeah. So,
Um,
like, this Demogorgon just goes and freaking pounces on Papa, and I'm like, "Yes!"
yeah, so do you think Papa dies?
I don't think Papa dies, but I really wanted him to die, but I don't think he's dead. I don't. I don't think he's dead
S
for some reason.
so back in the Upside Down, they're
Yeah.
tracking this wounded Demogorgon,
Yes.
and,
Yes.
and it apparently the nest is in the public library.
Freaking library. And that's exactly what I called it too. I wrote down, nest.
Yeah, seems to
Skulls,
be.
bodies. It's its nest, which
So,
never
at
would have
this
thought a
point, are
library.
you starting to pick up on the similarities, to the movie Alien?
I I saw the movie Alien back in the early '90s, and it wasn't my thing, so I never watched it again.
Oh, okay, so
I'm
there's
sorry, my husband hates me. I just totally embarrassed him.
there's a lot of, the next couple of scenes where
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Uh,
But
let's see.
holy crap. Holy crap. And then they find Will, but he's got some weird snaky thing, like,
Mhm,
attached to him, like, some
yeah.
weird monster eel attached to his like, in his mouth and attached to his nose, and, like, I
Hopper
was
has
like,
another flashback.
"Holy crap, yes." Hopper, poor Hopper. Poor Hopper. Like, that one made me cry.
Yeah,
Cause
that one was rough. Watch, because
that
his
one was
I'm
hard.
pretty sure his daughter was dead in that scene.
Yeah, yeah. Because they show her flatlining.
Oh, did it?
Yeah,
I didn't catch that. That was just the way I read the scene.
yeah, they actually showed the flatline on the monitor, and now Hopper's, snaps out of it, and his cop training kicks in, and
Mhm.
he's trying to tell Joyce, "You need to calm down. We need to do CPR. When I tell you, you blow into his mouth twice, lift his chin, blow into his mouth," and they both start doing CPR. And Will's not coming back immediately. And Hopper's going back and forth in between Will and scenes of his daughter. Yeah, Papa Douche. And Hopper, like, he's getting mad and he's getting frustrated and he's remembering this, and it's almost like if he can save Will, this would be his closure with his daughter. Like,
Right.
he starts like pounding on his chest and he's like, "Come on, come on." And finally Will coughs and I'm like, "Oh my gosh."
Mhm. That
That
was a
was
very,
a rough
very tense scene.
scene. Oh, that was a rough scene. Ah.
That 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 thing that I don't know if you said it, the thing that he pulled out was,
Yeah,
very
I
much
didn't
like
say
a
it.
trach tube.
It looked like a trach tube, but it also, when it got on the ground,
It was alive.
it was slithering, and I'm
Mhm.
like, "Trach or snake or, like, is this some kind of metamorphosis?" Or, like, you didn't know exactly. I need to know more. I need to know more.
I'm assuming,
Mhm.
and like I said, I'm picking up some of this from, like, Alien, but I
Yeah,
believe this is part of the reproductive system
that's what
of
I
the
was
Demogorgons.
yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
That's this is exactly the same thing that, happened in the Alien movies
Mhm.
where, they would, uh, basically hook these bodies up or, like, pin these bodies up to the wall, and they would
Right?
lay their eggs in the room, and
Ew.
when the eggs would hatch, they
Mhm.
would go and feed on um, the bodies that were, you know what I mean? Like a
Yeah. And then in
ecosystem.
Spaceballs, it hatches out of the stomach.
Yeah. Well, that's a chest burster and alien. Hello,
I've
my baby.
seen
Hello,
space.
my
Oh,
darling.
yeah,
Love you like that.
exactly.
Do.
Oh, that was a
I
great
love that
scene.
movie.
I love that movie.
Oh, where are we?
The boys are running and they go into the science lab because now Elle really needs to rest because she's like
Outcooked.
so freaking weak. Yeah. She did the bathtub thing. She burst the eyeballs, they run from the Demogorgon. Um that poor kid.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the Demogorgon follows them into the science lab.
Right.
And what do? They pull out the slingshot and the
Mm-hmm.
magical rocks. And they're like, eat rocks, and they're like shooting the rocks into him and like it goes right into his mouth and like he gets slammed up against the chalkboard. I'm like, whoa, they really are magical rocks. But no, it was
No.
Elle.
Right. Yeah.
Elle like mind slammed him.
Right.
And
I
like,
was assuming he
ugh,
was just gonna shoot the Demogorgon and it was gonna happen to go into the
I know.
thing's mouth and he was gonna choke on it. But
Exactly.
I didn't
Exactly.
I didn't think Al was gonna step in.
Yeah.
I didn't think she had anything left.
Yeah. Totally. Totally. And like sadly though, like this was another point that I was tearing up on because you know, she says goodbye to Mike.
Yeah.
And then she like totally decimates this like dick, and like
You
he
gotta be
just
careful how you say shit.
the Demogorgon. She decimates the Demogorgon. I am sorry. I didn't mean it like that. But,
Yeah. Yeah. Ta-da.
yeah. Ta-da! Sorry. No,
But
that's the
in
scare of
destroying this
embarrassing.
Demogorgon, it appears that she has, um,
Yeah.
transferred herself maybe to the
Yes.
Upside Down?
To the Upside
Hopefully,
Down.
she's in the Upside Down?
Yeah. I think she is because of what happened at the end of the show.
Well, that and we get
But
into season 2.
yes,
And
yes, yes. I meant the other thing. I'll get to the other thing.
okay.
Um, but like once all this is done, like like Will wakes up and mom's there. Mom
Wait,
saves
wait,
him.
wait.
Yeah,
There is a whole scene that is another, like, 80s trope where
yeah.
the parents are coming to the scene of whatever craziness has ensued, and they get their kids, and they're hugging their kids like Goonies and stuff like that.
Goonies, holy shit. I
That
never
was a
made that connection either.
E.T., all those movies have these
Oh, I
scenes where
hate
the
that movie.
I know, where
Sorry.
the parents show
But
up
yeah, the
and
parents
and
show up and they're just
and
hugging
they're
their
like,
kid.
"What the fuck? Can we?"
Yeah, yeah. Like, Karen shows up with, dumbass dad, and, Karen goes running over to Mike in the ambulance and hugging him and crying, and Joyce is hugging Will, like, "I found
Mhm.
you," and crying, it's
And
just
Kelly was
it's just a scene,
crying.
and I was like, "See? Moms know. Moms know. Moms know."
Kelly's getting lucky tonight. Or
He'll
unlucky,
probably be
depending on how
sleeping.
you feel about it.
Niagara Falls snooch.
Nice. So,
Oh,
um,
so
Hopper's
moms.
coming out of the hospital, and a car pulls up, and they put him in the back
Yeah.
seat, and they drive off.
Yeah, like, dude, what's up with you? Like, I
I don't know, and
know
we just
he had
don't
stipulations,
yeah.
but, like,
Do we know
that makes me think that the asshole Dr. Brenner is still alive.
right, there's somebody still honoring some kind of a deal.
Yeah. But in the hospital, mom and Jonathan are sitting by Will's side when Will wakes up, and Jonathan is being the awesome big brother, made him a new mixtape, and they're all like, yay. And they pan over to the waiting room, and Nancy's there, and Steve's there, and the three boys, Mike, Dustin, and Lucas are there. Papa the Fluffer. Stupid Tim. I hate Tim. Anyway, they're all, and Karen and the stupid husband, they're all in the waiting room. That scene reminded me of Parenthood. Do you remember the movie Parenthood with Steve Martin?
Yeah.
Yeah, when they're all sitting in the waiting room and they're waiting to hear, whoever had a baby. Yep. But that's what that reminded me of. And then Jonathan just shows up with a smile on his face, and the boys, they're like, he's awake, and they go zooming in there and they start talking to him like all at once.
They like really pile on him. He starts coughing.
Yeah.
He's got COPD from the Upsidedown.
Yeah. That was really cool.
So then we go to a month later.
1 month later.
1 month later. Too much
and
SpongeBob.
It's Christmas, and the boys are playing Dungeons and Dragons downstairs in the basement, and the Thessal Hydra was defeated, and it's like, yay, everybody defeated that Thessal Hydra. And It was only 10 hours, and Jonathan comes by to pick up Will, because it just started snowing and they have to go home to Christmas dinner. But Nancy tells Jonathan that she has a gift for him. And Jonathan's like, I didn't get you any presents.
But I brought this dick.
No, Good thing he didn't say that because Steve was in the other room.
It's gray sweatpants season, Nancy.
Yeah, but in the 80s, boys tucked their shirts into their gray sweatpants. So
this is true. This is true. Shanty's like,
why did we ever do that? Pull them all the way up.
Am I that predictable? Steve's hair brought his dick.
Oh yeah, TB's all about Steve's hair. DB thinks that Steve's hair is his own character.
Yeah, for real. Have you seen the pictures where he's wearing the sailor's hat? I don't know what season that comes from, but he's wearing the silly sailor's hat that says ahoy, and he's got all that hair.
Oh my gosh. That is funny.
So they get out to the car, and Will opens the Jonathan's present, and it's a brand new camera.
It's a camera. And Nancy comes back in the living room because Dad's sleeping in the fucking popcorn. I can't stand that Dad. He's such an ass. But Nancy sits down next to Steve, and Steve's like, did you give it to him? And I'm like, oh, they're all friends now. So I really like that part.
Yeah. I don't know though. Yeah. I keep trying to think of that, Nancy's dad. He's kind of prototypical like that 80s dad too, he probably commutes an hour to work from New Jersey to wherever the fuck or where, I don't know where they're at.
Yeah.
And then he works his stupid office job he can't stand, and then he commutes an hour back, and they eat dinner, and he probably dies in the chair.
He died in the fucking popcorn. Meanwhile,
he's definitely kind of a duh.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Karen's in the kitchen, dressed to the hilt, perfect hair, perfect makeup. She's probably wearing high heels. She's drinking a glass of wine, and she's making like 5 different holiday cakes for their meal, Poor woman.
Winona Ryder still looking great.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Did you see their house now? Like that house, like when they went back to the house for
Mhm.
Christmas dinner, okay? Like when Jonathan and Will get home,
Right.
that house looks fucking gorgeous now, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
And
they
she's
definitely
trying her best to do a traditional dinner, and her mashed potatoes were
runny.
sloppy. They were runny. I'm sorry, Winona, like I can help you with that, but it's okay.
How do
She
you
was trying
get
to
mashed potatoes that runny?
too much milk.
Yeah, but I mean, you add the milk a little at a time.
Apparently, she added too much at a time.
Apparently you don't. Or maybe she didn't drain the potatoes.
Maybe she didn't drain the potatoes. We don't know.
Welcome to Stranger Cooking.
Yeah. Yeah, because just at that moment, her son goes into the bathroom to wash his hands, and he pukes up a fucking Demogorgon worm.
Yeah,
Like,
what the fuck?
fucking, hey, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, it was some weird sea caterpillar.
Oh, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a fucking worm from the fucking Demogorgon.
Right. They
Oh,
obviously don't have one of those drains with the little X thing in it.
yeah, right? Like, holy
'Cause it
shit.
just like slurps down the drain.
And then he's like holding on to the sink, and it's like with the upside down, like he's in and out of the
Mhm.
upside down. And I'm like, oh shit,
Right.
he's gonna be having some Demogorgon's baby next season. He has to be. Like, dude.
He's gonna be like, "Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my red carpet." Do, 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 do,
Oh,
do. Check,
one thing.
please.
What did he have? The special. He had the special. One thing that I forgot though was Hopper was at the Christmas party, which was really cool. And he left the Christmas party, and you see him pull over to the side of the road, like where they all entered the forest at one point in time during the
Yeah.
season.
Mhm.
And he had a Tupperware and some Eggos wrapped in saran wrap, and he put it in a hinged box in the
Right.
forest. And I'm like,
I was trying to figure out what he put in there at the Christmas party.
yeah.
I'm assuming it was cookies, but
I'm assuming it was
you don't
cookies.
really get a good look at them.
You don't. You don't. But that means Ella's still alive. So
Yeah.
I can't wait for next season.
Mhm.
When is next season done?
6 weeks from now.
6 weeks from now.
Just
Oh. You're gonna make me wait
kidding.
6 more weeks.
I don't see any reason why we can't start recording next season next week.
I would absolutely love that.
I don't know what I don't think anything weird is going on next week.
Hmm.
I don't really think I've got a whole lot of weirdness coming up. Me and Brady have Clerks 3 on the 16th,
Mhm.
and that's a Sunday, so that won't
Do
be
I
in
have
the
to write
way.
that down?
No.
I
No, I
don't have to
mean,
write that down.
we're going to see Clerks 3 and Kevin Smith is going to be there.
I'm just so used to doing the escape pod secretary stuff. I thought I had to write it
Right?
down.
Right? Um on my birthday, I'm going to see Airborne Toxic Event, so that's on the
Nice.
22nd.
Nice.
So
We can work around it.
I
Um,
don't think there's anything that's going to keep us from being able to do the show, Kelly.
Leah, I am drinking pumpkin spice coffee out of
A
my
pumpkin
pumpkin
shaped
mug.
cup.
Yes, so beautiful.
I opted for Diet Verner's because I like to live on the edge.
Verner's, is that a Michigan soda?
Yeah, I always forget that it's ginger ale,
Oh, okay.
but it's kind of like the ginger ale. There's
It's
nothing
the
like
ginger ale.
Verner's.
Mhm.
Like what do you guys got? You got uh
We used to have Crystal Club, but now we don't.
I don't know what that is.
It was a brand of soda.
What's
Pennsylvania
the big
specific.
national brand? Schweppes maybe?
Schweppes, yes.
And then there's another one
Mm,
that makes ginger ale.
Yeah, and it's on the tip of my freaking tongue. Hey, 11 Hopper.
Either
11
way,
Hopper.
either way, Werner's is the
Canada
de facto
Dry. Thank
Canada
you,
Dry. Yep.
Corey. You're awesome.
Werner's is the best ginger ale. I
Mhm.
mean, we're biased because we're from Michigan, but it's the best ginger ale.
Yeah. DB, you're
And
late.
I'm a
Corey
ginger,
already
so I
told
should
us.
know.
You should know. I only get ginger highlights in the summertime, so
Yeah.
it's about time for my ginger highlights to fade.
Yeah.
Oh,
I am a
so
ginger, so it's all highlights.
and freckles.
Yeah,
Lots of
highlights
souls.
and lots of freckles.
Tons of souls, guys. Tons of souls.
Yeah, each one of these freckles is a soul that I've eaten.
Not in the mashed potatoes.
No souls in the mashed potatoes.
No soul in the mashed potatoes.
Oh, let's see.
Oh,
That's it. He pukes
that's
up that
it.
slug and goes back to dinner.
It goes back to dinner like everything is fine, Mom.
Right?
Let's talk about Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, but I believe Don and I discussed that from starting next week, we're going to pre-record our episodes and release them
On Saturdays, right? 6:00 on Saturdays. Is that what we were doing?
I think we changed it to 7 p.m. Eastern on Fridays
Okay.
because of college.
Because that's easier. Yeah, it's easier for you to be in the chat because of college football.
Because of college football. You know,
Michigan always plays at noon, so
football.
I'm like almost always Michigan plays at noon. So a lot of times I don't think about evening conflicts as a Michigan fan.
Yeah. A lot of time, well, sometimes Penn State plays at noon, but a lot of times they also play at 3.
Yeah,
And
you guys fall into that time slot with MSU a lot, where you're in that 3:00 range.
Yeah. So I think we're going to move to Friday evenings at 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Yep, at least for the duration of football season.
Yeah. So I will be in every single chat. We're gonna, it's a pre-recorded show, but it's a live premiere. I'll be in every chat. So come and join me, guys.
Yep.
I'll see you next week with season 2, episode 1 of Stranger Things.
I can't wait. I think it's gonna get weirder.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I am so hooked on this show. Honestly, just this season, it is probably one of the best shows out there.
Well, and you remember we started this thing going, you know what? If we get 3 or 4 episodes into this and we don't like it, we'll just quit.
Yeah, exactly.
We're like that crackhead from that Dave Chappelle show. Y'all got any more of them episodes?
Yeah, seriously. When we were on hiatus, I was totally like that.
Right.
Like we're doing it next week, right, Don?
I almost started rewatching it again, like in bed.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe I'll just rewatch the first couple episodes but
that would be great. We definitely have to do that again.
Yeah. Well,
I want to thank everybody in the chat, Dragon Buddy, Shanti, Hectolorian, and there were like new friends in the chat today.
Definitely.
Leah, Loco, 11 Hopper. I mean, that was pretty cool today. Thanks, guys, for joining us.
Up here? Come on.
Is it a cat?
Yeah, it's Tubby.
Oh, Tubby. Oh, and Corey was in the chat too. So thanks to Corey too. Yeah.
She hasn't seen the show yet. She's like, I don't know if I know what the hell you're talking about.
Corey, it is so good. You got to watch it. Don, rewatch the show with Corey.
Well, I'll see if I can make her.
Okay. Don't make her. That would make you a douche.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I am a douche. No, I'm not a douche.
Why am I Tubby?
You're not Tubby. The cat's Tubby.
It says LG is hella Tubby.
Wow. Come on.
You're Tubby. Whatever, Leah. Oh, look at the kitty.
He's
Oh.
there he is. I was like, it's not really working. All right, get away.
Yeah, Corey, definitely catch up. Thanks, Leah. You're forgiven.
All righty, let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here. Bye, friends. We'll see you next week.
See you guys.